So Vechain is right now, as we're speaking, pushing here towards higher prices. The question now is, how far can we reach here in the very short term? And why do we have a price target for Vechain at around 0.41 US dollars? So in this video, guys, we are once again back with Vechain, ticker symbol VET or VET, and we will be doing a Vechain price prediction and technical analysis. If you guys enjoy these Vechain updates and want to see more of them, it's always super awesome and helpful when you show that by dropping a like. And real quick, before we get started here, I just have to give a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video is financial advice. But alright guys, now let's get started right away here. And right now, as we're speaking, we're looking at the daily time frame, and today we are seeing some very interesting things here happening on the chart. You can see here that if we look at today's candle, you can see we have a very strong green candle. We're trading up around 10% as we're speaking, and we are right now actually pushing. We are getting close to our first key resistance level here in between around 0.102 to 0.098. So we definitely finally have some exciting times ahead here for Vechain. You can see that the last sort of week here we have been having some very slow days. You can see that all of these daily candles, not much action, but today we have a clear change in the direction of the trend, so that is very nice to see. But alright guys, so now we switch to the 4-hour time frame, and since we're seeing such a nice push towards the upside today, let's start by taking a look at the upside scenario and what are some very important resistance levels and target levels for Vechain here in the short term. And as I said, the first sort of level I'm looking out for, it is this one in between around 0.098 to 0.104. And the reason we're looking at this level is this one have been acting, you can see clear resistance right here, December 27. Looking a bit left here, we saw resistance right here, December 7. Resistance once again, December 4th. Looking a bit left here, we can see a clear bounce. You can see a clear bounce right here, November 28. Looking even more historically, we can see support, resistance. So this zone is a very key zone historically, and an important first step for the Vechain bulls to push above, because if we can manage to break this one, so if we break 0.104 to 0.098, then the next sort of level we are looking out for, it is this zone right here in between around 0.122 to 0.127. Why are we looking out for this one? Well, looking a bit historically, we can once again see that this is a important historical level. You can see resistance, December 1st here, support, November 24th, support once again, November 19. Looking even more historically, you can see multiple times support and multiple times resistance. So definitely yet another key level here in between around 0.127 to 0.122. Let's switch back here to the daily time frame. So here every candlestick represents one day, and take a look at the optimistic scenario. So if we can break these sort of short-term levels we just recently talked about, then I'm actually looking up. Then I'm looking all the way up here to 0.156 to 0.146. This is yet another key target area where we have been seeing both. You can see support multiple times here in November. We saw this one as a clear resistance, October 26, and also clear resistance, September 6, clear resistance, August 16. So yet another key historical level here, and one to pay attention to. But alright guys, so we are very soon ready to take a look at why do we actually have a target all the way up at 0.41. But before we continue with our optimistic Vechain scenario, I do want to switch the attention a tiny bit to something that is at least as important, and that is of course to take a look at where is our most important support levels, where we can see strong bounces towards the upside. And also real quick before doing that, I of course have a question for you guys, and that is, what are you drinking today? Right now as I'm speaking, I'm sipping on some coffee, no milk, no sugar involved. But as for the downside scenario for Vechain, the level we really want to hold on the downside, it is this zone in between 0.077 to 0.069. In my opinion, if we break this one to the downside, it starts to look very bearish for Vechain, so you do want to hold this level. And you may wonder here, why is this one important? Well, historically, you can see multiple times this one acted as support here in December. We can also look left here. So if you look way back, you can see that this one was an important support area here all the way back in May, important support in June. So this area is super key. If we break this one, as I said, it start to look bearish, but we still have one last support level at 0.056, which was the very low. You can see the very low Vechain printed here July 21, as well as the previous highs You can see the previous highs were printed here way back in February. So this is pretty much the last support. If we even break that one, it starts to look super bearish for Vechain. But since we're seeing such a nice push today, let's not be negative and let's continue here on the upside and take a look at, what if we continue to push here? So what if we break 0.156? Well, then the next level, I think it can go very, very fast up to 0.8187, and this one basically comes from the local top. You can see the local top Vechain printed here November 10. And another thing I do really like about the Vechain chart is that if we start to get this positive bullish momentum, we have many areas on the chart where we don't really see any clear resistance. So for example, right here, I don't see any clear resistance from 0.187 to all the way up to this zone right here in between around 0.277 to 266. So our next resistance area is in between these two lines, and the reason we are looking out for this one is simple. The upper line comes from the beautiful all-time high we printed April 17. The lower line comes from the sort of local top we printed April 19 to April 20. So there guys, there you have some key levels that you need to pay attention to for Vechain. As for our 0.41 target, in order to get that level, what we need to do is that we need to use our Fibonacci tool from the old all-time high we printed April 17 down here to the very low. And then you can see here that we get some Fibonacci extensions. So if we manage to break all-time high, then the first target we are looking out for, it is the 1.618 fib extension, very common method that traders use when something breaks all-time high. And this one would take Vechain all the way up to around 0.41 US dollars. But alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you feel like you got any kind of help or value, then please consider dropping a like. And if you guys are interested in more, then don't hesitate to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope I will see you guys in the next video. But for now guys, take care. Ciao, ciao.